We are ready to start editing our RTML, and the first thing that we're going to need to do is click on New, and I want you to put in quote / quote class equals / quote high slide / quote space on click equals / quote return space hs.expand open quote this close quote / quote quote and hit create. And if we did it correctly, we should see this down here in our stack. And what we're going to do is look at tag when, tag string append, ahref, image ref, image, right under that, click on it, and replace. And we see that we have replaced that right where we wanted. Next, we're going to go back up, click on New, we're going to choose Image and Create. Comes to the top of our stack, and then what we want to do is we want to click on this tag when, and then we're going to do a paste within, which should put it right here. Paste within. Let's come down. Okay. Alright, good. So we've got our image right in here where we want it. Remember that this is what we're driving towards, right? So I just added this image here, and we're going to change this line a bit. So let's flip back over to the store editor and our template. And I want to create a new views. Create. Goes to the bottom of our stack. Then I am going to go to this nil here. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to replace. If we come back down now, we see that we've got image source, views, access, and flipping over here, which, by the way, this before and after that I'm showing you is on the Calligraphic site. You can get that there. Image source, views, access, vertical. Alright, so let's go back over, and this time we're going to go New, and this is a simple. We're just going to type the word vertical in there, create it, and then we are going to highlight the nil next to access and replace it. And we see, let's go ahead. Alright, that looks good. Image source, views, access, vertical. Image source, views, access, vertical. Good. One of the things that you can do to make it easier to work with your code is contract or expand these commands that have parameters, right? So it gets a little messy and hard to work with here. So what you can do for that fuse, I can go up here and I can click contract. If I come back down, you see that it has taken away all those parameters. It just makes it a little bit easier to read, which is nice. Okay, going back to our after example, the next thing that we want to do is we want to add a render within the fuse. So we'll go ahead and do that now. I'm going to click on New and choose Render and click Create. And with that render at the top of my stack, I am going to make sure that fuse is highlighted, and I'm going to do a paste within. And if I scroll down here, I should see that I've got image source fuse, I've got render pasted within my fuse. And then I'm going to highlight nil. I'm going to click on new. I'm just going to type the word image into the simple text box. And then I'm going to do a replace. Good. And we're also going to add a max height and max width. So I'm going to look for max height and max width. You might need to play around with this a little bit. I'm going to create a new simple, and it's just going to be 300. I think that probably is going to work. And then I'm going to replace for my max height. And for max width, I'm going to do the same thing. Just highlight that so it'll replace there. New. Go 300 for that as well. Create. And I should just be able to click replace. And let's see, we've got 300, 300. And let's see here. If I go to render and I contract it, yeah, okay, so it's cleaner, and you see that now it's only showing the parameters that actually have a value. Okay, remember that we're working towards this after picture, so the last thing I just did was put the render with the image, the max height, and the max width, and now we're going to create a when operator that calls this x2im expands template. Click on new, scroll down to when, create it, and we want to paste it after the render, so we can just do a paste after. Good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a new call, which call is used to call another template, so it's sort of a template inside a template. So we've got a new call, and we're going to click on that nil next to the when, and we're going to do a replace. So we now have when call, and we're going to go new, simple, colon, x2-im expands period. Period's important. So colon, x2-im expands period, and create. And we are going to go down here, and we're going to edit call. And I think what I just did was unnecessary. Yep, okay, so here is actually where we need to do the colon x2-im expands period. And that should be a 2. And update it. Okay, and now we see this when call with the script. This variable that I created isn't needed, so I'm just going to click on that and delete it. And if you get a bunch of junk in your stack, like I have all these nils here, you can just clear out the stack, and you're good to go. Alright, so we've got the when call, the x2im expands, which is what we wanted here with image height and width below it, so we'll have to address that. Okay, so to make this a little easier to work with, I don't need all of this down here. I'm going to replace most of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on image, and I'm going to cut that. And now if we come back down, we see that it's gone and it's placed in my stack. I'm going to leave it here because I'm going to use this remaining part in my template, but this will just clean it, makes it a little cleaner, easier for us to work with.